Ina sat in the kitchen of a small, one-room apartment on the outskirts of the city. Until recently, she lived in a luxurious apartment in the city center, and the windows of her kitchens went to the central park of the city. And the windows of this kitchen overlook old garages and wasteland. She could not understand at what moment the turning point occurred, and her friendly family fell apart. At 37 years, Ina was left alone. A month ago, her husband came home and said that she would fail his apartments. He handed her the keys to this kennel and put it out the door. Children stayed with dad. It turned out at the trial that Anton has the same apartment from the property where he stayed with children and a car. All the rest of the property was formed on his father and mother. Anton was ordinary, hired workers in the company of his father, received the salary on which they lived. There were no accounts and accumulations. And if she could understand her husband, who at the age of 40 wanted a new, young wife, then she could not understand the children. More precisely, she understood that the children stayed with her father because of money. Ina never worked. They met Anton at the institute. She was in the first year, he was in the fourth. Anton graduated from the magistracy, and Ina almost left the maternity hospital with the defense of the diploma. And then somehow it was not up to work. After the beauty of Veronica, the hero Maxim was born. Children, kindergartens, mugs, school, house, beloved husband. Instead of a marketer, Ina became an ideal housewife. At home, always tasty, freshly prepared food, perfect cleanliness and endless love for loved ones. And they like this. Although Ina suspected that grandfather and grandfather worked on children, inspiring her grandchildren that the unemployed mother could not give them anything. Therefore, Ina was left alone. Anton bought her this apartment, allowed him to leave his car, and gave money for the first time. And he was so angrily joked goodbye in the courtroom that he would give alimony when she finds the job. And sitting in the kitchen, Ina could not understand what to do next. Which employer needs it at 37 years without work experience and divorced from the real world? Or go wash the floors, or to the store by the cellar, or where else to take people like her? Thrown to the side of life. They called the doorbell. Ina got up from the table and went to open. On the threshold stood a woman of approximately her age, in a dressing gown, and with her hair, which were anyway tied to a ponytail. "Hello." Ina examined the woman. "Sugar?" Ina looked at the woman with surprise. "I have no sugar. I don't eat it." "In terms of..." Now the bewilderment was already in the voice of a neighbor. "Where did you get this to us here?" From these words of an unfamiliar woman, Ina suddenly burst into tears. For the first time from the very day when her life was divided into before and after. "Oh, it seems you were not burning the desire to be here. Well, come to me, I will drink you with tea without sugar." She took Ina by the shoulders and led to the neighboring apartment. Having seated Ina at the table, she called her son. "Sasha, run to the store for sugar." A guy of about 12 appeared in the doorway. "Ma'am, it's time for me for training. It will be faster to run." She showed her eyes to the crying Ina. "Good. What is the name?" "Ina." Ina squinted with her nose. "Katya, tell me what happened to you." She put a cup in front of Ina and poured boiling water in it. "Bags in the box." "What bags?" Ina did not understand what she was talking about. Kata grinned. "Or do you only drink custard tea? We do not have this." Ina quickly came to her senses and shook her head. "Sorry. I still won't get used to the fact that my husband threw me out of the house." "Even so, tell." Katya put her cup with boiling water on the table and pulled them with Ina on a bag. Sitting in someone else's kitchen, with a cup of bags, Ina told a completely unfamiliar woman about how she met Anton, how they got married, how their children were born, and how she was left alone, unable to anyone. "You know, I was left alone too. I kicked him out. Only I have 3 children. And unlike you, I need to keep them. My former alimony does not pay. When your children would be with you, my betrayed me. Give them time. They will quickly understand that they need you. Now they do not understand how much they need you. We need father's money. You can't buy love. But how to live with it? Don't know. But you need to do something. You need to look for work. But I do not know how to do anything. Yes, this is a problem and here you need to think. But we'll come up with something.